After spending the night at Musgrave, I steeled myself to tackle the Peninsula Development Road, or the PDR as it's commonly known. Just under 600 to the tip. Just leaving Musgrave Roadhouse, hitting the PDR, the Peninsula Development Road. And this could be anything. I've heard there are some really rough sections, so we'll find out today. Varies from bone-jarring corrugations to lovely bitumen sections like this. Unfortunately, the bitumen is not as plentiful as the corrugations. Get out of the road, dopey! Good bit of road. There's been some really bad sections of PDR, but this is really good. 100 k's an hour. This is the bend at Cowan on the Cowan River. It's a free camping site. Beautiful spot. And best thing of all, no crocodiles. If I wasn't moving on, I'd be happy to stay here tonight. Absolutely beautiful. It was a bit more like what I was expecting. Rough as guts. About 50 of these little dip water crossings on this section. And they're all rough. The kapok tree. Interesting to see a tree with only flowers and no leaves. I've seen these before in the Kimberley. Beautiful plant. And I think what they get kapok from, which is like similar to cotton, they used to use it in sleeping bags and things like that. Well, he's not worried about me at all. He's too busy in getting his lunch. What a magnificent bird. I stopped at the Archer River Roadhouse, and while I was there, I tackled one of their famous Archer burgers. What a delight. All the ones that didn't make it. Wow. A detour to Portland Roads and Chilli Beach was in order. They're certainly serious about keeping alcohol out of the communities. The distance on the paper map is 107 kilometres. The actual trip took me well over 2 hours due to the numerous water crossings and rough roads. So I'm in the national park now, just a few k's from Chilli Beach. Nice scenery. So not far now to Chilli Beach and Portland Roads, and this easy to miss turn off, signposted only with this handwriting on the tree, is the entrance or the beginning of the iconic Far North Queensland Frenchman's Track. One I'd love to be doing, but I'm on my own, I don't have a winch, and there are two major river crossings to contend with, so unfortunately I'm just going to have to watch it on YouTube. Rainforest. I've seen 3 bright blue Ulysses butterflies in about 2 minutes. I'd love to see a palm cockatoo. It certainly rained here recently. I think that's an agile wallaby. He was pretty agile getting across the road anyway. So this is the tiny little place called Portland Roads. Basically a little mangrove harbour. A couple of houses. And look, a cafe. What I didn't know about Portland Roads was that during the Second World War it was actually a strategic base, and here's what's left of the old jetty, and they had both small warships and flying boats operating from here. Very picturesque. Oh, and the cafe was closed. I missed it by 10 minutes. Bugger. Love those bougainvillea. Check that out. And the butterflies. Nice little hideaway. Be lovely to spend more time in places like this. I have to say, I found Chilli Beach a little underwhelming. Sure, the weather wasn't the best, but it was damp, windy and full of mosquitoes. This was the view from my campsite in Iron Range, and yes, it rained. Pasco River. You can feel the power of that water even though it's very shallow. A quick roadside coffee break. I've deserved it after all this driving. Looking forward to this. So I've turned off the road to Weeper and heading for Bramwell Junction. Not a bad road really, a bit whoopsie-doo, very dry. I think the trick with these corrugations is just to find a speed where you just glide over the top. I'm doing about 80 and can hardly feel them. Looks like rain. Looks like both of these died in the same dip. Have a look at the size of this termite mound, and there are dozens of them around here. I'll go and stand next to it to give you an idea. So I'd say that's probably 15 feet tall, and it's like concrete. Absolutely amazing structures. And they're all through the scrub here. Termite mounds absolutely everywhere. Some of them are massive. So this scruffy looking sign and this rather indistinct track is actually the western end of Frenchman's track. So I've been to both ends. I just missed a good bit in the middle. Lol. Roadside burning off. Going well too. These dry season burn-offs are pretty well standard practice throughout most of the north of Australia. The vegetation is still dry enough to burn, but not so dry that it gets out of control. So basically they just throw in a match and walk away and let it burn itself out. Made it. A few souvenired number plates, no doubt recovered from the OTT. I'm pleased to say that mine didn't join them.